Hi everyone, Cleus Glory Young here, author of the Airport Adventure Live Safely bookazine. So I'm here at the water, and what I'm gonna be doing a water experiment I call the body water experiment. And it is something that I learned about the essential value of it from the airport. It's called weight and balance, a process that the plane has to go through before it goes on the runway. And when I learned about it, what I was able to do, I was able to translate it into a water experiment. And literally, it has been so essential to my life and understanding, especially the context of safety. So I'm gonna be doing it right now, but also if you were at any one of my book tasting events, then you actually saw the experiment that I did around the water and how it relates to our body. Once again, like literally, I learned it from the airport. I was able to translate it into a water experiment, but it actually show you the context of the body. And for me, it's like if you're trying to rectify something, you have to understand it. And this is a clear layman terms in how I understood it. So I'm actually gonna do it right now, and hopefully it's something that can be beneficial to your life. So right here I have three bottles. This is the two small bottles, and right there you can see they're filled with water already. I use this one as the pitcher, right? But if you look at this now, you can see it. And what I normally do when I'm doing the book tasting event, I explain how from a child this is how we were, right? And if that's how you were, that's how you're supposed to become an adult. And you can see how clear the water is, right? In both bottles, clear. But what happened in life, and I'm gonna go right over here, is that you're gonna see I'm gonna take up some, right? Dirt. And then this is what happened to us in life as we grew older, right? Stuff start to come inside of us. All right? And then depending on how much stuff gets inside of us, this is what we look like in comparison to how we were born, right? And it's literally this now that made me understand that this is how the body becomes unsafe. With all these stuff that has been deposited inside of us, right? And when you shake these stuff up, it's almost like, when you open up a soda can and you shook it up before you open it up, then it's gonna explode, right? And this is what happens when we're triggered, right? And something hit us to the standpoint where it starts to pour out. And if you notice what's gonna be poured out, all that dirty stuff that's inside of us is gonna be poured out, right? And it's literally where we're gonna pour these things into other people. So this was something that became very interesting to me to understand how unsafe we are walking around with all these stuff that was placed inside of us, right? So I'm gonna do another part now, which I normally call, this is what science equated it to, what you would call the neuroplasticity of the brain, right? Because even though this is something that's inside of us, look what's gonna happen. I'm gonna allow it to go there, all right? And you can notice anything different, it starts to become clearer, right? And the more I would do it and allow water to go inside of it, the more and more it will get clearer. See? And the science behind that is what is called neuroplasticity. Like literally, no matter how bad of a circumstance your life is, if you pour the right things into it continuously, then it will begin to bring you back to the natural state, right? This is just a small example, but if I continue to pour more water into it, then you'll see how it goes back to the regular state of the natural water, natural clear water. So that is an experiment that literally changed my way of how I look at safety. When we walk around and things are dumped inside of us, that made us unsafe. The whole concept is learning how to extract those things now so we can be clear again. And it's funny because when I look at this, right, I also recall the concept of saying that certain things you're not going to be able to see. And the reason for that, if you go back to the original concept of the water, when I just poured the dirt in it and how dirty it was, when things are dirty and cluttered in our minds, we're not able to see things clearly, right? Which makes us unsafe. So that is what I call the body experiment water experiment, body water experiment. And I was able to utilize something like this to make my life much, much safer. Hopefully this can help someone out there to understand that all these things that have been dumped into us for all these years as we grew up as adults, we have to find a way to get them out of us so we can remain the true, pure, and innocent person that we were created to be. All right? God bless.